Thacker. Hey, how are you? Good seeing you.
Thanks,
Just kind of what's it been like trying to install a defense and all that, and kind of getting things going.
It's exciting. Our kids are so eager to learn, so just their attitudes, their energy, their eagerness to want to learn, it's been really, really cool. And then the great thing about spring practice is we just have time to teach more. So the schedule is generally Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, so you always have a day in between to have opportunity to teach. So it doesn't go quite as fast as maybe a fall camp installation, so on the front end of it, it's kind of best case scenario for us as coaches to get the work out here, get a ton of cumulative reps, and then we're really big on coaching on film. If you saw the calculated chaos of practice, there's multiple reps and then there's groups going on at the same time, so you're not getting to coach all your position, so much of it is built on the days off and in between leading up to it.
How much do you have to watch?
You're developing some good depth at linebacker?
It's a process, yeah, and I'm sure you guys have talked to Coach Collins about the above the line deal. That's what we're trying to find. Last year, just speaking of that team, probably Brant and David probably played 95% of the reps last year. A young guy like Jaquez Jackson was kind of the backup. Bruce played a couple reps here and there. We don't carry that same mold. We would like to have multiple players available. We probably plan to defend more snaps based off of our offense and the tempo that they go at. So we have to find depth at that position. So we've been able to. Those guys are competing every single day. Again, we don't talk about ones or twos. The guys are getting rep, mixing the groups up. So with that A group that goes out there, David Curry has had reps at that position, Charlie Thomas has had reps, Jaquez Jackson and Bruce Jordan-Swilling have all went with the A group just to speak to us, mixing in and out and trying to find guys that are above the line.
You're kind of talking about not really having a depth chart. There's no the guy or anything. What does that do for the competition just amongst these guys?
That's it. It just creates competition. Coach Collins constantly says competition is key. So it doesn't allow people to get complacent. You know, ones, and then the twos have the mindset of, well, I'm a two. I'm going to prepare like a two. You know, so it kind of stays away from that trap a little bit. Doesn't let the ones rest. Doesn't let them get complacent, and doesn't let the twos have the mindset of, hey, I'm a backup. So they're always competing to be above the line. And then just taking our model from the place we were out last year, it ended up being about a 65 to 35% ratio of the A group and the B group going and getting reps. So our backup linebacker at the place we were at last year had 65 plus tackles. Just to kind of speak to what that was, I think last year here, maybe the leading tackler was less than 70. So just kind of put that into a framework.
In terms of the depth, you have one of the smaller rooms right now too, just in terms of numbers and stuff. How has that been to kind of adjust and work with?
So that is the case, but we've got the nickel position. So we kind of stay away from the scheme question a little bit. We can get in on a 4-2-5, 4-3, and 3-4. But that nickel position that we're kind of basing out of more so that's coming from the safety room. So right now it's just a Mike and a Will position in my room right now. I'm teaching the Sam linebacker in the process, but the guys in my room are just playing that position. So it's actually, I've got decent depth just relative to those two spots. And then Coach Burton's letting some safeties rotate at that nickel position, so kind of a hybrid safety position. So that's kind of played out depth-wise.
And how has a guy like Charlie adapted to maybe moving inside?
I couldn't have been more pleased with his progress from day one to day two. So day one, he's literally never played stand-up inside linebacker a snap in his life. One, it was, you could see the wheels spinning a little bit, and the worst thing that we want to do is handicap them and make them play slower because they can't process so they're uncomfortable. So he's incredibly conscientious, quiet, but incredibly conscientious about his film work off the field. So the progress he made from day one to day two was outstanding. We'll go in and we'll watch the film and see if there was that same progress. But very, very cerebral kid, and excited about his future. He played last year as a true freshman, a handful of games, started some games late in the season, and I see him being a big part of what we're going to do on defense. He's very talented.
I remember you saying back in January, I guess, that you wanted to incorporate the terminology of the last scheme, and I'm curious how much you were able to do that.
We were a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. We kind of cherry-picked here and there. So we just speak in terms of, hey, this is what you guys called it last year. It's the same thing. Put the learning on the coaches.
Right.
Us adult coaches, that's what we do for a living. And then all the young men that you guys, let's just keep that word the same and they'll feel more comfortable. So we're able to do that and piece that together just a little bit.
In terms of building kind of depth across the line and stuff, you have some guys who are maybe outside edge linebacker kind of guys we've seen you kind of use some of that. Is that going to be a little more of a feature in terms of your defense here?
It will be. So, for example, the first day of practice, Jaquan Henderson played will linebacker. The second day of practice, he played a rush outside linebacker type. And then we've only been in a 4-down front so far. We've had a couple of plays where we've just stood up the rush in, the outside linebacker like Jaquan Henderson and Jordan Dominic, to get in a different structure. And then as we go along, we'll continue to install to get into some more deals where those guys will be second level, standing up at the line of scrimmage. So they're playing more the outside linebacker. So definitely a hybrid role where sometimes their hands in the ground and they're part of the rush and part of the stunt. And then a lot of times they're dropping into the flat, and then we'll have some schemes and structures where they're truly linebackers. So we're evolving every single day. We're throwing a lot at them. We actually want there to be high volume, not at the detriment of technique and effort. We want it to be high volume, so we get a lot of stuff on film, and then we get to the off season. We've at least got it so we can teach it later on and see what we're best at going into fall camp. So there's a little bit of discovery and a little bit of experimentation in the spring ball just to see, based off our personnel, what we're good at.
How much do you have to watch the film of the other huddles that you're not in? And I imagine that gives you like a whole other set of stuff to watch after practice.
So Todd is the best in the business. We've got the best video dude in the freaking country. He's unbelievable that he's able to capture every single second of practice. And there's not a snap that we don't watch together as a staff, not even individually, together as a staff. So when I was playing football, I was like, what do coaches do all day long? I would see their cars there late at night, and we'd come back, and I'm like, why are they still here? What do coaches do all day? But the time expense of going in there and watching film, but it's to find out everything about our kids. We want as much information as possible about our kids on every single snap. So we may not be on that particular field coaching our position, but we've got to trust one another to be able to get all 11 together, playing with unbelievable effort, and then we coach all film later on. So it takes some time.
Last year, the linebackers had Brant as kind of the elder statesman leading this year, David's kind of stepping into that role. How's he handled that, and how impressed have you been with
Really well. He's taken pride in it. And then one of the best things we did in the off season, we talked about the program. That was the Saturday thing with the Navy SEALs guys, the former militaries. So that was the program deal. And the whole weekend, we saw a lot of guys take huge leaps on leadership. And David was one of the young men on our entire team, not just the linebacker room, but on our entire team and the defense, that we pointed out that, hey, let's do everything we can to put him in stressful situations and teach him how to be a better leader. And then from that weekend on as well, you've seen him develop in that role. But he takes a lot of pride in it. And the biggest thing about David, to lead, you got to take care of yourself first. He's unbelievable as far as his work ethic, off the field, in the classroom, and doing extra work to get himself ahead in the film room. So he's done a good job of taking care of himself, and then he can carry other people and affect other people with him.
You talk about putting him in stressful situations during that. What's kind of the situations that he has? He handles there.
So some of it is physical, so much of it is mental. It's sort of the repetition of the same thing over and over. One of the examples was we had guys in a pool. It was as simple of a task as everyone jumping in a pool, taking their sweatshirt off and passing it over to someone else. But it was done it for time. They had to do it with everyone on the same page. It was something as simple as the entire team doing one perfect jumping jack. It's amazing to watch that happen, how many times it took the entire team through a command to do one perfect jumping jack. And you put people in just mentally stressful situation and frustrating situations, and to see how they respond. And then a lot of it was physical, but so much of it was mental toughness.
How long did it take for them to do the jumping jack?
It took 2 days.
2 days?
So, we started on a Saturday night, went till late in the evening. We came back at I think it was whatever compliance allows us to do, whatever time it was, 6 o'clock. And the second morning, we were able to all do it at the end, and it was a collective sigh, a collective bonding experience for the entire team. Really cool.
What's it been like?
Did you learn a lot about your group from the off-season conditioning program?
So you did. So we are absolutely knee-deep in everything that we're doing. Coaching, we are high energy. Again, we talk about coaching off film, but we're out there, we're knee-deep. That was one moment where we were kind of built to be passive observers. So we could sit back, the program, the leaders there, unbelievable what we do. Coach Collins, we had them before at Temple as well, so we've seen what we've done. We trust them, and they do everything. So we're able to, I guess the word is, we were active observers. So we were able to sit back and just observe our guys and see how they are when they're getting poked and prodded, and kind of see them develop in front of your eyes. So it's a really neat experience for the coaches to take a step back and be able to do that.
What's the story with the Chaos Cruiser?
Yeah, so the Chaos Cruiser. So I'll give Jeff Popovich. He came up with the idea, and then I was the executioner of the idea. So we had spring break last week. My daughter Brooks, our little 3 to be 4-year-old, and my little son, we all got outside. I went to 2 Targets, 2 Walmarts. The second Walmart, I found a Cruiser. So it was a black Cruiser with red tires, which I've already gotten in trouble for that. I pulled all the tools that I have out, which there aren't many. Took it apart, spray painted it, the gold right there. Put it back together. Didn't change the tires the first time, and we brought it back. So we brought that out after the first practice, going into the second practice. So we've deemed that's the Chaos Cruiser. So it has everything to do with effort. And then we've kind of topped it off with the guys that are Chaos Creators. So a Chaos Creator, everything that we talk about as a program, it's an effort-based program. And then beyond scheme, we're an effort-based defense. So that's the one way that we always talk about incentivizing what we're emphasizing. So we emphasize effort, and then we emphasize takeaways as well. So that Chaos Creator is a mixture of that. Most importantly, whoever had the best practice based off effort. So you guys all know, but a lot of people at home don't know, we've got a pretty good little stretch from the building, from Bobby Dodd over here to the practice facility. So whoever the Chaos Creator is, the most valuable player based off their effort, the next practice, they get to ride the Cruiser over. Everybody else has to take the John over and carry their stuff over. I individually take the helmet, take the cleats, take the shoulder pads of whoever's the Chaos Creator, and then they get to ride GoldBlooded. That's GoldBlooded, which is the Chaos Creator that they get to ride it over. So again, it's to incentivize what we talk about, and we talk about ad nauseum. This is an effort-based program, and we're an effort-based defense more than anything. So it's just a small way to be able to incentivize that, and I think our kids have had a really good response. So Jaquez Jackson had it the first day, and then Jaquan Henderson had it today. I couldn't be more complimentary of those guys' effort and the way that they've approached practice.
So Jeff had the idea of it would be cool to have a bike or something that they could ride to practice and back.
Yeah, so Popovich came up with the idea, and I said yes. Yeah, and then Coach Collins gave the okay, got the text back, okay, awesome, triple exclamation points, emoji. So any way where we can be creative and just feed energy to our kids. If they think it's cheesy, it's cheesy. If they think it's cool, it's cool. Right now, they think it's cool, so we'll build off of it. We'll see how organic it is. I got a feeling GoldBlooded is going to get a couple more bells and whistles, and we'll keep evolving. And, but if you just saw the last 2 days of practice, and I think you guys were able to come out of the last practice as well, the last 2 days of practice have ended on a takeaway, and whoever's had the takeaway went and got the bike and ran out there at the end of practice. So it's been a cool deal and kind of an organic deal.
In terms of just dealing kind of with Brandon and that whole situation, and that's your room, in terms of the defensive guys, just how difficult has that been as a coach? And I imagine it's a first for you as a coach to ever have to deal with something like that, and just on a personal level too.
It's a first. I don't know how to give you a right answer. It's been tough. It's the neat part is it's been amazing to see the family and see how our kids have responded. So the family came to the memorial in the Coliseum here last Wednesday, and then we all had a chance to all go up as a team to Nashville. So seeing their response and seeing them smile made you feel a little bit better. They were truly, you always kind of hear those things, the grief of it, but enjoying someone and celebrating someone's life, it made me feel so much better seeing the family being able to celebrate their life. And then just our kids' response, how resilient they've been, how mature they've been. Incredibly tough situation. It affected a lot of our young men. But Coach Collins, and they've kind of taken the approach, we have something to play for. We have someone to honor, someone to respect, and there's a motivating factor to it as well. So everyone deals with the grief differently. It was tough. It will continue to be tough, but he'll not be forgotten, and we'll honor him every single day, the way in which we carry ourselves. So it's just unbelievable to have someone and something to play for. But it's been tough. I appreciate you asking.
Anything else?
Bruce?